All right. So anybody that hasn't got back in here yet, sorry guys, it happens. YouTube's had a lot of problems with disconnecting, and it's unfortunate. It's happening a lot to people, and I really hope they get their act together because it's really frustrating, So what are you going to do? So we're going to give this a minute for people to get back in here, and then I'm just going to continue on from where we were talking about. I'm not going to go over everything again. We're just hello everybody. Sorry about that. I don't know. Like I said, YouTube's having problems. A lot of YouTubers are dealing with it, so it happens. Oh, Evelyn Vincent said Elliot Coleman's book, Four Seasons Harvest, is the best. He grows year round in Maine. That's cool. That's very, very cool. So anyway, so we're talking. I was at the point where I was getting ready to talk about aquaponics. Aquaponics, I think, is a really cool thing. And so we're going to get back into talking about that and go from there. So with aquaponics, you have, excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. You have a relationship with the plants and the fish. Okay. So it's a win-win situation because they help each other and it helps the plants grow really, really well. You grow the plants either in stone or you can grow them in water, where you have them on boards, like styrofoam boards, and they float, and you can grow them that way. I think it's a really, really cool thing because if you're doing that relationship with the plants and the food, you're always going to have fresh fish. So like up here in the Northeast, we would use trout. That's what we would use up here. Somebody had said carp, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really looking to eat carp. So for me, I would do trout because trout I would eat all day long. I love trout. And again, if you're growing it yourself, you're doing it yourself, you know the relationship of that food. And so that's a good way to do it, in my opinion. So I really like aquaponics. I think it's a great way to do it. And with having a geothermal system, you can keep it where you're not having to run a heater to keep those fish warm. So that's a really cool thing too. And if you've got a decent sized tank and you're using that, I think that's a really, really awesome way to do it. And so that's, like I said, for me, that's my goal. I definitely want to do the aquaponic system with the geothermal, in the greenhouse. So scramble the letters in capsule. You'll understand why you shouldn't eat them. I didn't see I don't know what you're talking about. P1, have you looked up hydro systems used in earthships? I have not, RV Source. I'm going to be honest with you, when I get to that point where everything's coming together, I was just talking to a friend of mine today. I said, I need to do a ton of research on that whole thing. But it's like, that is what I'm going to absolutely be doing here at the homestead. I am going to do a geothermal system, and I'm going to do aquaponics. That is, and you know what? I'm going to experiment with it, and I'm going to play with it, and I'm going to see what works, and I'm going to see what doesn't work, and trial and error. And again, and I've talked about this part of it a million times before. I want to figure out what works and what doesn't work now, while it's not life and death. After an SHTF situation, guys, now you're talking life and death. So there's no time to play at that point. You better either know what you're doing, have your system down, have all the bugs worked out. And, that's why it's really, really important to do that thing now, to get that squared away now. And so that's why, like I said, the sooner the better. That's really, I think, is a really, really important aspect of doing, the aquaponics and stuff like that, is getting those bugs worked out. What do we got here? Part 1 is dead. Now can I get to chat? It's disabled for this video. Really, Robert Blakemore? Maybe just for you. I don't know what happened. But, well, you're making a comment in here, so I don't know what happened. Sean Wheeler said, I think you could make a decent living doing microgreens. Well, there's a lot of things you can actually do. You can talk to, I was watching a video of these guys that do an aquaponic system, and the way that they did it was like so cool. And but they grew nothing but lettuce. They had these huge greenhouses, and I'm talking enormous. And they did aquaponics with everything, and they did nothing but lettuce, like 5 different types of lettuce for greenhouse or for restaurants. And I just thought that that was a really cool thing. I mean, if it's something that the old one, as someone wanted to alert the folks that it's still on part 1. It's not still on. I ended that show. I ended that stream, or it should have anyway. It should have ended because I hit end. So I would have to go. I can't go and look right now, so I may have to just delete that one altogether. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that's. I wish I could do it while I was on here. Let me look on my phone and make sure that there's not 2 running at the same time. So are you saying that there's the other stream is still saying that it's live? If you guys could check on that for me, it shouldn't be. Yeah, they got to be watching the replay. That's what they got to be watching. Because I ended that stream. What kind of fish will I use for my aquaponics? Okay, Chris, I'm going to be using trout because up in the Northeast, the trout is a very hardy fish. And it's not live. Okay, thank you. Thank you for checking that. I didn't think it was. I thought I ended it. But anyway, because it wasn't connecting. I had to end it because it wasn't connecting. So that's why I had to start over again. But that happens. What are you going to do? But I'm going to use trout because it's a very hardy fish, and it's a cold weather fish, and it handles the cold weather very well. Again, because with the geothermal system that I plan on putting into my greenhouse, that's going to keep the temperature of that greenhouse at least at 58 degrees. Now, here's the cool thing. So if it's at least 58, right, and then we have a somewhat sunny day in the wintertime, in New York, right? I'm joking saying that because it's like we'll have months and months of just cloudy, crappy weather. But if we get a day where we get some sunshine, it is going to make it that much warmer in the greenhouse. So, again, yeah, and trout is good eating too. You're right, Chris Henson. That's exactly another reason why. So not only will I have chickens and eggs, which I could eat both the chickens and the eggs, and I know how they're being raised, and I'm raising them myself. And we will be adding more chickens in the spring. Just so you guys know, I'm thinking I'm going to get a dozen more, is my thought. And that would put me, I have 11 right now. And if I can get it sexed out where I have just hens, and add another dozen hens in there, they won't start laying till late in the season, which would be fine anyway. I don't care. The other ones are laying, so I will still have eggs. But you want to always introduce fresh birds in, so because as your other birds get older. But that's the game plan, and I think that would be really cool. So I just it's all that's experimenting and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and again, like this winter. It's going to be an experiment this winter with the chickens. I'm going to see how they do. I plan on. I have a heat lamp that I can plug into inside the greenhouse, or not the greenhouse, but the chicken coop for them, and I'm going to have a light source for them as well. So I got to still get to Harbor Freight because people had talked about on here about getting solar lights that they have where you can just have those as that ambient light for the chickens, which I think is a really good idea. How about perch or carpy? Perch would be okay. Carp is not really one of my favorite fish to eat, so I'm not really a big carp person, but perch would be okay. So, trout or perch would be great. Never tilapia, guys. You see a lot of these people do use tilapia. Again, tilapia is a garbage fish, so you don't want to eat that fish. Put a fish tank insulated platform to keep the cold from the ground, sucking the heat from the fish tank. Okay, thank you for that information, John. I was actually thinking of having that up on an elevated platform anyway. That's one of the things that I was looking at that they do, and that's a great reason why to do it, so that fish don't have an issue. Catfish, I don't know if I would want to do catfish either. Is tilapia even a fish? I don't, it's just, they're a fish, but it's not anything you want to really eat. They're, like I said, they're a garbage fish. So a lot of people use those because they're a warm weather fish. And so a lot of people that have greenhouses and have aquaponic systems, it's all in the South. So, they can use that fish and not have to worry about heating the tanks, because for most part of the year, it's going to be in a temperature where it's going to work for them. But I would not. So everybody's got bluegill, walleye. You know what? I'm going to start out with trout. Okay, I'm going to see how trout works. If down the road I decide to add other fish, bass would be good. Yeah, bass would be really awesome. Yeah, that's actually a good one too. But I'm definitely gonna, I'll add other fish in there, and I may do a couple of tanks down the road. I don't know. I mean, we got to see how it all works out. And Wolfang says tilapia is okay to fish to eat. Yeah, it's really not. It's not good for. If you look up the stuff for tilapia, it's really not a good fish to eat. It's not really a good fish for you. So, what SHTS source for fish food? Now, that's a good question, James. We would have to try to figure that out. Those are things that would have to be well, the thing is with planning it out, seeing what the fish food costs. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, guys, when I'm telling you, cost of fish food to get the fish in, all that type of stuff in the beginning, I have no idea at this point. What I'm going to be doing is, like I said, it's going to be an experiment all the way. I'm going to share that whole thing with you guys, and I'm going to learn. And as I learn, you're going to learn. So that'll be a cool thing. It's going to be really, really interesting. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I definitely would appreciate that. That would be awesome. Do I have wild turkey near all over the place? Yes, we have wild turkey all over. There's many times either leaving home or coming home, I've actually had to stop the car because of the turkeys crossing the road. So, yeah, we have a lot of wild turkey up here, which is very, very cool, too. Reuse the water from the fish tanks to the greenhouse. Yes, that's what you do. It's a symbiotic relationship with the fish and the food and your plants. So what you're giving, the fish waste is going to go out, feed the plants that waste, and then it gets filtered and everything like that. And then you're putting fresh, and the plants are oxygenating the water, and that gets put back in then to the fish tanks. And so it's a really, really cool, system how that works. Why did the turkey cross a road? Because it wanted to and it could. Will your greenhouse be completely above ground? Yes, Jason, it will be above ground. My greenhouse will be above ground. Yep. So, yeah, trout is more of a cold temperature fish, yes. And that would work really, really well with the greenhouse, especially in the colder months. I mean, our growing season is very limited up here. And with having a greenhouse, you really, and even if you didn't so let's say you decided not to do an aquaponic system and you just had a regular greenhouse and you went with a geothermal system with a regular greenhouse. Or let's say you didn't even use a geothermal system. Let's say you just got the greenhouse. You just got a greenhouse. You're extending your season by months in both directions just with having a greenhouse. So that part of it alone is a great thing. Now, when you add in the geothermal, now you've extended your growing season to year round. And I think that's really, really important, especially if it's an SHTS situation. You don't want to be limited to when you can grow. You want to continue to be able to grow and grow and grow. So those are things that are really important. And again, I think it's really important to learn now, while it's not the end of the world as we know it, an SHTS situation, to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And that's why it's really important to me to get, land. Like I said, that's the next big project. Is when you guys had asked me last Sunday, what was my goal for next year? And my goal for next year was getting the greenhouse in, getting a geothermal system in, getting in an aquaponic system, and learning what works and what doesn't work. So that has been, there's been, things that have had to get done beforehand before I could get into that. And, but like I said, that's the next step in the evolution of the homestead, is to be able to grow my own food. Will you be worrying about freezing problems? No, not at all. If you have a geothermal system, guys, the geothermal system is that greenhouse is always going to be 58 degrees. So it could be 20 below zero outside, okay, with a blizzard going on. And the minute you walk into that greenhouse, it's going to be 58 degrees and you're going to have your plants. Now, I want you to think about something else with this, and I think this is important too. Anybody that lives in the Northeast, our weather absolutely sucks in the winter. It's horrible. It's very depressing and stuff like that, right? So with having a greenhouse and having the geothermal system and having the plants, okay, the psychological boost for you to walk into that greenhouse and to be able to do things in there and to get things done, I think is a really, really emotionally for people is going to be a cool thing too. So it's a whole gamut of things that are going to be great. Because if it's like a snowy day and it's just like, oh crap, here we go again, and you're like in the middle of February and you're just, believe me, by the time February gets here, guys, we've had it up to here, especially if we've had an early winter. I mean, we've had it where, we had snow on the ground constantly from November on. Sometimes we get snow in October. It varies year to year. You just don't know. But if we get snow like in November and it's staying on the ground, I mean, we've had years where like middle of December, I was out riding motorcycle in the middle of December because it was so nice out. So you really don't know. It's a crapshoot. But when we get those years where we get that early snow and it just stays, by February, you want to hang yourself. I mean, it's so depressing. It's like just month after month of miserable, nasty weather. And again, not a lot of sunshine because it's overcast all the time. So that's just no fun. It's just no fun. Yeah, winter sucks in Ohio too. Yeah, I don't blame. Yeah, so anyway, so guys, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, I see we almost got 400 people in here, only 122 thumbs up. So let's, if you would do that, if you would shoot me that thumbs up. Now remember, we got an announcement coming up here soon. I'll give it to you guys soon, I promise. I won't make you wait too much longer. But it's going to be good news. You're going to be I hope you're as happy as I am when I found out. So in Delaware, it's mostly all rain, little snow. Yeah, I know, like a buddy of mine lives in Maryland, and they get a lot more snow in that area. So, they don't get a lot of snow. They get a lot of rain and just a lot more overcast. Like that's what their winters are. We get the heavy stuff. I mean, it's, I can remember back in the blizzard of 77 in Buffalo. We were living in Buffalo when that happened, me and my mother and my sister. The buffer, hurry up, beware of the buffer fairy. Yeah, well, I'm going to, 8:30. I'll do the announcement at 8:30. That's my promise to you guys, okay? So that way we're 8 minutes away, and hopefully, well, now we're 7 minutes away. So hopefully this stays fine and we can get this announcement in and it'll work out well. And like I said, I think you guys are going to be happy. I was blown away, shocked, elated. We'll go over everything. We will go over everything, but sign up for the government grant for soil conservation district. They pay you for a 30 by 72 greenhouse. Oh, really? Wow. Okay, that's interesting to know. That would be cool. It's in a way. Honestly, and it sounds terrible. As far as the government goes, I don't want their hand in any of it. If that makes any sense. I don't. I like. Do you need an appetizer too? I don't know what you mean by that. I missed that. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But you just got that grant. Yeah, you know what, and that's kind of cool. But I don't want anybody having any kind of control or say of what I can do. So I'm going to give you a good example. I was talking to that couple when I went to visit them, and they said one of their neighbors was a farmer, and he was the only farmer locally that had not got any kind of government grants from the government. Okay, because they had enough money on their own that they didn't have to. And the reason that they never did is because they didn't want the government controlling them and telling them what they could do. And I just, and I think that that's awesome. I think that that's absolutely awesome that, if they're in that situation where they don't have to have that control by the government, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing. So, it's through the Soil Conservation District. Oh, I'll look into it. You know what? If you would do me a favor, if you would shoot me an email with that information so that I could check that out, that would be great. preppernurse1@yahoo.com. So, yeah, if you could do that, that would absolutely be awesome. So, As you know, Geo Forfeit Development Program giving low-cost loans and grants. I did not know that, Kevin H. If you would send me that information, guys, if you got information about grants and stuff like that with doing what I plan on doing, that would be great. Any kind of information that you could send me on that. I'm not going to grow marijuana. Yeah, that would be nice. Huh? Big, huge plants. Hey, if it ever goes legal in New York, you never know. But I think you got to have like a huge license for that, and I'm sure they're going to regulate the crap out of it. So I probably won't be growing marijuana. I'll just say that now. Don't put your greenhouses near trees, or you're going to need to replace the glass. Yeah, I don't. Where I want to put the greenhouse is going to be just where like the camper is in that area out. That's probably one of my best sunspot areas on the property. So that's one of the reasons too why I want to give that greenhouse to my neighbor, or not the greenhouse, the camper to my neighbor. So that way I have more room to put that greenhouse in there when I do that. Let's see. Richard Long, long and cold winter, lots of snow and very cold. All predictions point at that. Well, it's funny that you said that, because it's like I have had a gut feeling that we're going to be in for a bad winter. And when I got my more wood today, I was talking to that guy, and he said a lot of people were saying they were getting more wood than normal just because. Hey, Bub, come on in.
Is Abel in?
I don't think so. I think he's outside.
Okay.
Don't let anybody out, please.
No, honestly, I have a question.
All right, watch the cats. I don't want the cats jumping on the bed and messing things up. So, but anyway, yeah, it's what was I saying? Okay, absolutely. So he was saying about the wood that a lot of people were feeling that this is going to be a bad winter. You kind of get a feel for it once you've been up here long enough, and you can kind of tell. And so I definitely. Hey, Joe M. The good news is going to be announced in 4 minutes. I'm going to be talking about that in 4 minutes. Now it's 3 minutes. Yeah. So at 8:30, I will make that announcement at 8:30. But we're really weak on thumbs up, guys. We're at only 178 thumbs up and 469 people watching. So let's jump up those thumbs up. Yeah, we're on take 2. It had to do it. It ended up freezing up, and so it was an issue. And so unfortunately, we had to start over again. JJ had his shaving his beard. No, that's not the announcement. So that is definitely not.
Down there.
Oh, they're fine. They're fine. Be careful on the thing. You want to say hi real quick? Just come over and say hello. That's my boy. So now you guys see how his hair is, that the brown color and the curliness once it gets to a certain length. When I was younger, mine did the same thing.
Yeah, and so I'm like.
Yeah, well,
I'm planning on growing it out more, and.
Yep, he's gonna grow it out more.
Cats since you opened it.
Yeah, go ahead. You can have the rest of that one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Be careful with the bed, please. All right. So, get him off, please. Take him right out. Out. Thank you. He can come back in after the show's over with. I know, it's like I have to like almost punish him, make him go outside, because they get on the bed and they move around, and sometimes that has messed up stuff too. So I don't want them doing that. So. Yeah, he's a good boy. Eddie's a good boy. He's a good worker too. When we get going with stuff, he pitches right in and he does what he needs to do, and that's helpful. So, let's see. Yeah, Eddie did good work on the wood. Yeah, he does his thing. Yeah, and here's something funny, guys. I love this. I've had people tell me, now you see how close the wood pile is to the wood where we're stacking, right? I've had people tell me, oh, you should put it all in a wheelbarrow and wheel it over there. Really? Why? It's like double the work then. You're loading it into the wheelbarrow, rolling it 4 feet, and then unloading it again. It doesn't make any sense. And you know what? With this way, 2 pieces at a time, or whatever way you want to do it, you just kind of do it methodically, and it's amazing how fast it goes. It really does. It goes very, very fast. So, But, you have to, you got to work together. And you know what? Teaching your kids that work ethic, I think, is really, really important. That, nothing is for free. We heat our house with wood. So you want to get warm, especially in the wintertime, you got to be part of that woodshed. Yeah, I need to do a woodshed too. That's going to be on the list for next year, is getting a woodshed built. So Kevin is gone. I don't know what Kevin did wrong. I didn't see. I totally missed it. So okay, 8:30. Okay, so I wanted to say this week coming up, I will not be live streaming on Friday. I have something that I have to do. So I'm going to be live streaming Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to do back-to-back days. No, that's not the announcement, guys. But that is the truth. That is the truth. This week coming up here, I'm going to live stream on Wednesday and then also Thursday, because Friday I have something that I have to do, so I won't be able to live stream on Friday. But I wanted you to think that was what it was. So Kristen Johnson says greenhouse. All right, so I got to talk to you guys and tell you what happened. So last weekend, when Sunday we were doing a show, and we were talking about my plans for next year, and everybody had said, somebody had asked in the comments, they said, what are your plans for next year? What's your things that you want to get done? And in the chat, somebody had wrote greenhouse, because they know, anybody that's watched my channel knows that's the next big project that I want to get done, is the greenhouse, right? So on Monday, I received an email from a subscriber, and this person said to me, and they wish to remain anonymous. They said they could tell the passion that I had for doing this greenhouse and the geothermal and the aquaponics and stuff like that, and they wanted to help me out, make a donation to make it happen now. And this person has given me a very, very generous donation, and I am actually have already ordered the greenhouse, and that is going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to get here. So the greenhouse that I went with, it leaves me with the donation that they gave me. I'm going to also be able to get in the geothermal system as well. So I'm going to have the geothermal system, and I'm going to be working on that very, very soon, because our weather is getting late in the year. So I'm going to get the geothermal system in, hopefully within the next couple of weeks before the greenhouse gets here and it's delivered. We have to put it together ourselves. But it is going to be an awesome greenhouse. It is. I'm going to save that whole part of it for you when that time comes. And so I'm not going to give that away right away, but it's going to be very, very cool. And I think you're going to like the design. It is absolutely perfect for the Northeast. It is, and I'm going to tell you what, guys, when this individual contacted me, I cannot even begin to tell you how shocked, humbled, and just like so appreciative. I was just like, really? I mean, who does that? Who does that? You know what I mean? It was just, but I just, it is awesome, because it's just, it's going to be a great thing, and it's going to be a great teaching tool on here on YouTube, because, and like I said, as I'm learning how to do things, and here's the best part, whatever screw ups and mistakes that I make, you guys are going to see it all. I mean, you're going to see it all. But the thing is, I'm going to learn, and I'm going to learn to do it the right way. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do it the right way. And that's the best part about it. How big is it going to be? Well, you're going to have to wait and see, JJ. I mean, I'm not going to give all that away right away. When it gets here, like I said, it's going to be about, I think it's going to be about 3 weeks before it's here. So what I want to do in the meantime is get the geothermal in. So the way I'm going to do it, I've seen people do it different ways, okay? Some people open up a great big huge area, and they go down and they run the tubes that way, okay? I think for me, what'll work better for me is if I have Bill come in, that's my bulldozer guy, and dig me trenches. And if he digs me like about 5 trenches, and good long trenches, okay, I can lay this tubing in the trenches, okay, so what you do is you have the tubing is going to come out into the greenhouse, and you lay it down into the tunnel, and you put it down there, and I'm going to have to get gravel, and I'm going to be moving a lot of gravel, and so doing it that way. And I probably will actually ask my neighbor with his tractor if he will give me a hand, like scooping up gravel and putting it into the ditch for me, instead of trying to do it all by hand. I'm still going to be a lot of hand work to be done, but I definitely have looked into how I want to do this. And so I think making trenches is going to be easier because it's not digging up a whole huge area. So that way I can get them down there. Probably going to go down about 5, maybe 6 feet down, underground. What I'm probably going to do as well, because of the area where I want to put the greenhouse over here on the side, I'm probably going to have a couple of loads of fill dirt brought in after we get the piping in, okay? Just to build up the area where we're going to put the greenhouse. Well, can you grow some food this winter in containers until the fish aquaponics starts? So happy for. Yeah, I'm definitely. Thank you, L. Gibson, and thank you for that donation. I really appreciate that. I'm definitely going to get something growing this winter. Even if I have to use it in dirt and soil, I'm getting something going this winter for sure. Once we get that part of it set up, and then the cool thing is, over the course of the winter, we have an aquaponics store in Rochester, New York. I believe it's still there. I know it used to be. And so I'm going to go and check that out. I'm going to definitely do some research, a lot of research, because this ended up happening way sooner than I thought. I thought I had, at some point in June, July of next year, looking at doing it at that point. But just the generosity of this individual is absolutely, it's unbelievable. Like I said, I just was like shocked when they told me, and I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to wait and try to get some plans in place and get the greenhouse ordered and stuff before I told you what was going on. But grow hydroponic until the fish aquaponic. Yeah, I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna look into everything of what I have to do and what it's gonna cost me to get going with that part. Like I said, the donation that this individual gave is going to take care of the greenhouse itself and also the geothermal. So the rest of it, that's going to be as I go, what I can afford to do and stuff like that. But I mean, just to have this person do this for me, I like I said, when they told me, I was like, I don't even know what to say. That's what I told. I said, I don't even know what to say. So it is just, it's very, very humbling that they would feel that they would want to do this for me. And it's awesome. And like I said, I'm so appreciative. You guys have no idea. To be able to grow year round is going to be awesome. So now you know the title, why I got into talking about greenhouses and aquaponics. That's kind of was like a leading type of thing. But it's like I have a passion for this, guys. I don't know I've gardened my whole life, but it's going to be a really controlled environment, which is going to be very, very cool. And I am so excited to start this next chapter and do this. And, and here's the cool thing with doing this, and it's going to give me an opportunity again to teach other people, to help other people. Say, if somebody wants to try to get something going themselves, and I've been running through it and doing it, I'm always available. I mean, I talk to people all the time. And so, but what? Oh, somebody said something. I don't know. Sean was saying, what's your malfunction? I don't know. Somebody said something. Geothermal has possibility of mold underground if you run no air through it all the time, humidity. Okay, well, there's going to be fans running the stuff like that, especially in the winter. It's going to be a lot more. And in the summer times, we're definitely going to be doing more. We'll be running the fans too in the summer, just to be able to have that. Somebody, Buffy was saying something bad. I didn't see what was going on. LED grow lights. That's what David James said. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking at everything overall and trying to make a decision of which way to go with it. But like I said, I'm beyond excited, to be honest with you. It's really, really awesome, and it's going to be fun. And like I said, my trial and error is going to help you guys that want to, men and women, obviously. When I say you guys, I mean ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's going to help you all as well, because you're going to learn from my mistakes, which is great. Okay, and I've made plenty, and Buffy is gone, JJ. I don't know what Buffy said. I totally missed it, but that's okay. It happens. But anyway, so she got slayed by the vampire, JJ, so that's funny. But it just with this whole thing, with learning how to do it and stuff like that, and I can teach people and I can help people, and you guys know that's what I'm all about. I want to teach you to be able to help yourselves. If I just give you something and say, here's what I grew, and and I give away a lot of stuff. I mean, I give away eggs, and when I do my garden, I'm always giving away produce every year and stuff like that. Like this year was a bad year. It was a bad year growing. But, like last year, I had so much produce and I gave a ton of it away. I like doing stuff like that. So I will continue to do that. But if I can show you how to do it yourself and be able to teach you how to do it, that's better for you. And so that's what this is really going to be. A lot of it's going to be for me, for you guys, is teaching you guys how to do stuff. And exactly, teach a man to fish. Exactly. And I think it's cool. I think it's a really cool way. The abundance of food you can grow is a lot more with the aquaponics systems, and and so I think that's a really, really cool thing. And like I said, you have with that, then you always have fresh fish on top of it. So again, there's good food to eat. I'm going to have fresh vegetables, and and having it right there. I'll walk out and I'll go, what do I feel like having? And bam, there it is. You know what I mean? And so now my priority for next year has kind of switched. Obviously, I will be working obviously on the greenhouse and tweaking things and working through the winter with projects in there and seeing what works and what getting everything going. But I'm also now. The major job or priority for next year is going to, I got to get more batteries. That's a given. That I need to do. But I also, I want to get in an underground root cellar. And so that is going to be like all concrete, and I'm going to have it done right. I'm going to hire somebody to come in there and put that in. And then, we'll screw around in there once we get underground. And the game plan is to have part of that underground for cold storage and the other part of it for like a freezer, and take like buckets every year and put the buckets outside, let them freeze, put them in there. And then you can bring that temperature from 58 degrees down below, down to 32. Now you got yourself a freezer. So are you going to buy these extra acres near you? Do that first. Yeah, I do. There's 3 acres that I want to buy. But like I said, that's going to have to wait. That's not, what kind of ring, on my hand. Oh, okay. This is, a hematite ring, and this, absorbs negative energy. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn it around. You can see it's cracked. I don't know if you can see that. There's a crack in it right now. These rings cost, I got them at a fair for 10 for $1. And so what you do is they absorb negative energy. So when they break, you just put on the next ring, and it's hematite. And that's what I've been wearing them for years. And I think they work. Some people may say that's BS, but to each their own. And but that's what I wear. That's why I wear that. Usually I have my other ring on, and that's actually I'll show you that. I'll grab it real quick. I'll show you that one. So there's that one, and that's a Viking type of thing, so it's like a motorcycle thing. So I wear that one quite a bit as well. Usually if I'm going out, I mean right now I'm chilling out and I'm relaxed obviously, but if I'm going out I always have that ring on as well. Could you put in a trailer for me? I'll can your food. Yeah, I know. I know it's like there's going to be a lot of canning. That's I'm going to tell you that right now. With being able to grow the way I'm going to be able to grow produce, there's going to be a ton of canning going on, and that's what I want to do too. And so I'm actually was looking at what I have canning jars wise. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to need to get more canning jars. But, you know, this, guys, I'm telling you what, I'm so excited. I can't even begin to tell you how I'm going to tell you. Okay, this is an example of how excited I am. That Monday, when this individual contacted me and told me this, I was awake all night. I couldn't sleep that night. I was like just the adrenaline, and I was so giddy. It was like a little kid at Christmas getting your favorite thing that you've been hoping for forever. So, you know, it was absolutely, absolutely awesome. And, you know, like I said, I was very, very excited. And so that was just a wonderful surprise, very, very unexpected. And, you know, this is an individual that I haven't had regular contact with before. They've watched my channel. You know, I don't know if they make comments in the chat or not, but, you know, there really hadn't been a lot of contact, and they reached out to me. And, you know, it's just, you know, it was just, it's awesome. And, like I said, I'm like super excited. I'm super stoked. I can't wait to get this going. And like I said, I got to get a hold of Bill next. That's going to happen this week. And, you know, I actually have to, I just got a message from the guy that I'm buying the greenhouse from. And I'm going to actually, I've been talking to him about maybe offering his products on my website and stuff as well. So I look for that too. And I will, all that will come together, guys, and we're going to be talking about all that. And I think it's going to be really, really cool. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's going to be, like I said, I'm going to get to play. And, you know, that is, that's a really cool thing. And when I say play, it's like, you know, I'm going to get my hands dirty and grow and see what works and what doesn't work. And, you know, because like I said, being up here, am I scared of forest fires there? No, not at all. We don't have forest fires up here. We're not like California. It doesn't get that dry up here. We're pretty wet up here. Anybody that's watched the channel for a few years, now they have, I'll tell you what, like in the woods, they do have the fire lanes cut out in through the forest all through up in this area. But I never in my lifetime has there been a forest fire up here that I know of that I've ever even heard of. So now we get a lot of rain. And, you know, we've had a couple of dry summers before where they're like, you know, don't burn or whatever and stuff like that. But we've never had an issue with forest fires up here. So thank goodness. And, you know, that's what, you know, but look into Tadler Harvest Guard lids. They are reusable. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard that the Tadler ones, you can reuse those. And, you know, that's pretty cool too. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of hematite utilizes the magnetic qualities of your yin and yang. Wolfgang just said that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to tell you what, it works for me. It's funny because it's like I've had this one on for a while, and it's cracked now, so eventually it's just going to break. When it breaks, like I said, then I put the next one on. Like I said, they're $1 a piece. I mean, you can't go wrong. For me, if I've been in a higher stress, they don't last long. Boom, they break really, really quickly. And when I'm a lot calmer and I don't have that stress, it just works out. You know, they last a long time. So it works for me. That's why I wear it, and I like it. So, you know, again, that's up to each individual. Ed is awesome. Oh, I'm going to be on to 9:30. I never said that. I never said I was going to be on to 9:30. Oh my God, that's too funny. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, that would be awesome, and I would appreciate that. Do the kids know about the greenhouse? Yes, they know about the greenhouse. They knew right away. As soon as I knew, they knew. So, you know, they were kind of excited about it. And my daughter, you know, RIT has stuff that they do with greenhouses and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe I can talk with them and stuff like that once I get things up and running and actually know what I'm doing. I think that would be cool to, you know, go in and again, and teach and help people. That's what it's all about, guys. I mean, you know, it's giving back. So, you know, with this person giving me this awesome, unbelievable gift, you know, it's going to give me an opportunity to teach and to help other people. And that's a win-win. That is an awesome, awesome thing. Yeah, we all have connection with different things. Exactly, Gary. Yep. Like I said, you're going to put your solar system in the greenhouse to keep it warm in the winter. No, it won't be in the. It'll probably power the greenhouse a little bit. I can tell you that. That's for sure. But it's gonna. You guys are gonna be really appreciative. I think you're gonna really like it. I think it's an awesome greenhouse, and it's gonna be really, really cool, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. Blessed be and stay safe. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, this is going to be this next phase of stuff. And well, here's the thing: is I mean, a lot of people that are into aquaponics are not into or gardening type of stuff. With greenhouses and stuff like that. They're not into the off-grid lifestyle. They're not into prepping. So it opens up a new avenue of me to bring in different people that are curious about growing. But then I can also talk about the lifestyle and how much better this lifestyle is. So it all kind of goes together. And I think it's going to be a really, really cool way to introduce people that might not have thought about the off-grid lifestyle to living off-grid, to being more self-sufficient and those type of things. And I think that's really, really cool as well. So, hey, does anybody tell me what the score of the Cowboy game is? Because obviously I'm not. It started at 8:20. So I know that they're playing Philadelphia. So anybody got the score on that? 14-7. Who's winning, JJ? Cowboys, I hope? Yes. Awesome. Very cool. I just hope they stomp Philadelphia into a mud hole. So, all right. Thank you for that update, guys. I appreciate that. But, yeah, I've been giddy literally all week with this news and, with getting this going and talking to the gentleman that does the greenhouse and stuff like that. So it's really, really exciting. And it's just going to be a really fun project. And I'm really excited about the whole thing. And I can't wait for it to get going. Like I said, the hardest part now is going to be waiting 2 to 3 weeks before it gets here. I think it's going to be like 3 weeks before it's here. But again, I have that 3-week window to get the trenches dug, to get the piping in, and I got to find out, exactly what piping I need to get and what diameter I need to get. So I got to do a little research on that, and so then I got to, get it in the ground, and so it's going to be very, very busy. And like I said, and I'm going to share all of that with you guys as well. And I think it's going to be an awesome, fun journey. I am excited. I am absolutely excited, and I can't wait to get it going. And what do we got here? But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun adventure, and this won't be the last greenhouse, guys. I definitely will probably add more as time allows and stuff like that. But it's going to be a fun way to get going with it, and it's going to be a blast. I'm like, you have no idea how excited I am to get this going. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So somebody was talking about prepping. Is it too late? It's never too late to start prepping, ever. I don't care what age you are. I don't care who you are. It is never, ever too late to get going with prepping, to get involved with it. Even on a small scale. Ed is going to have a farmer's market. Yeah, they have those down in town. They do that for sure. And what I was thinking about too, I could go down to the town and talk to the local restaurants down there, and all organic produce. That would be, I think, a big seller. I think it would be a really good seller. So we'll see. You know what I mean? It depends on how much I can grow and if I could keep up with demand of what they had. If you have insurance, you are already a prepper. Yeah, exactly, Kevin H. Exactly. People don't think about it that way, though. Oh, to build a greenhouse. Well, the greenhouse is going to take a little bit to build, and I'm going to probably need to call in some favors from friends to help me do it. But that's okay. And, so like I'll say, hey, Greg, could you give me a hand? Because he knows right now, as sure as I'm sitting here, when the produce starts coming in the wintertime, I'm going to go, here you go. you know, because that's how we are. You know, Greg and his wife Chris are awesome people, and you know, if I need a favor, if I need a hand with something, he's right there. And so, you know, and if he needs my help, I'm right there for him as well. And so that's what we do. So I'd mark all underground pipes and power to keep your other. Yeah, there's nothing where I'm going to be putting the greenhouse. There's nothing underneath there. So that's not going to be an issue at all. So that's not an issue as far as underground. There's nothing underground in that area. So it's oyster chantel and oyster mushrooms. Yeah, like I said, I got to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to grow at certain parts of the year. I know I do plan on, like I said, getting obviously tomatoes in the spring and stuff like that, and start them early and do everything by seed. I have a ton of seeds, so I'm looking forward to, you know, working with the seeds that I have. I've got a lot of seeds that people have sent me. And, you know, now I'm going to be in a position where I can germinate them and grow them and get them going. And it's awesome. Like I said, everything that I do, guys, I will share. I will share my failures. I will share my successes. And because I believe it's important to share those, because the only way we learn, the only way we get better is by failing. So, you know, somebody that is an expert at doing that type of thing, they didn't become an expert overnight. They took time, they made mistakes, and they learned. And cabbage and carrots plant, yeah, mint hedge outside. Yeah, cabbage and carrots are going to work great in the winter, and also kale. They're a really hardy plant, and so those are definitely going to be things that are going to be grown in the greenhouse. So what we got to do, because it's that time, we are Legion. There are so many of us out here, guys. We are a huge family, and there's a huge network of us preppers, off-gridders all over the place. Everybody tell me where you're from. I want to see where everybody's from tonight. We got Michigan. We have Olympia, Washington, BC, Canada, North Carolina, Howe, Texas. Let's see, Washington State, Ohio, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Man, these are going fast. Northwest Ohio or Northeast Ohio, Texas, Kansas, Detroit, Utah, New Zealand, BC. Let's see, we got California, upstate New York, Linden, Texas, New Brunswick, Oregon, Southwest Ontario, West Virginia, Sudbury, Ontario, very nice. Illinois, Fayetteville, Arkansas, nice. Pennsylvania, Maine, New Jersey, Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Lake Pleasant, Michigan. Let's see. Alabama, gotta love Alabama. Roll Tide, baby. We got Alaska, Elk Grove, California, New York City, Southwest Ohio, Marion, Ohio, Florida, Iowa, Wisconsin, Long Island, the UK, very nice. Massachusetts, nice. Southwest Ontario, Virginia, Brooklyn, New York City, very nice. New Mexico, West Virginia, Indiana, Minnesota, Ontario, Canada, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, very nice. A lot of Canadians tonight, cool. You guys are awesome people. I love my Canadian brothers and sisters. Connecticut, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Illinois, Maryland. So, guys, we're all over the place. We are this huge, huge family of people, and we can make a difference. All of us can. And learning from each other, helping each other. You know, when I talked about networking, I talked about that in a recent video. And some people think that it's a good idea, and some people don't. And I really, really strongly believe that you got to go with your gut feeling on that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you you're right or you're wrong. If you don't want to connect with other people, that is absolutely your option and your opinion to do that. But to survive what is coming, I really, truly believe that it's important for us to be able to work together. And if we can make those connections now. So here's the thing. Here's a good example, okay? So you connect with somebody and you're talking and you want to meet with them. Meet at a neutral site if that makes you both comfortable, okay? you go with your gut feeling. If you feel bad vibes with that person, then you disconnect. There's no foul, no harm, no gain. So it's like, but if you don't ever take that chance, you're gonna miss out on a lot of good, decent people. I'm telling you right now, like the couple that I met, and I met the other couple as well, and I met them briefly. I could tell, meeting both of them, all four of those people are good people, and I can't wait to talk with them, to network with them, and work together. And I think that that's a really good thing. I think it's a smart thing to do. Think about if there's an issue and you can help, that fellow prepper out if they need help, that's a good thing. If there's a time of need and they got a build going on and they need extra hands, you go and you help each other out. That's what it's all about, guys. This is not about, prepping. There's a misconception, I think, with prepping, and people think it's selfish. It's all about me. I'm going to save me and me only. That's not what it's about. It's about helping more than just yourself. It's helping other people as well, and making contacts. And here's the best part about, in my opinion, with the prepper mindset, with off-grid people and those type of people, okay? We're awake. We look at things differently than the average person does. And I think that just is so much better way to live, and it's just really, really cool. And so, we have that opportunity and we can make a difference. And so that's my take on that. I'm going to get off that soapbox, but that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about that. So, but anyway, guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, because we are definitely going to sign off here. So I appreciate that. So I'm very happy to share this exciting news that I share with you guys tonight. I cannot wait to do this moving forward. And so the next couple of weeks waiting for this greenhouse to come in is going to be crazy. And so, but I got a lot to do in preparation. I got to get the geothermal in first. And so when the greenhouse gets here, if that geothermal is not finished, I got to finish that up before we can build the greenhouse, because those are going to go right up into the inside of that greenhouse. So I'm thinking what I may do is my 550-gallon water tank that I have sitting outside my house, I may take that, I might empty that out and use that as my fish tank in the greenhouse. So, and if I do that, I got to get that in there before we build it, because it's not going to get in there afterwards. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a wonderful project to do. So anyway, guys, remember, we are all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're going to accomplish, whatever you want to do, work at it methodically, and it will happen, okay? I hope everybody has a great night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.